Market politics, that's what we call it. Nobody else covers the elections our way. And we have an all-star panel to view Iowa, New Hampshire, and the rest throughout the lens of investors and the market. Tom Gallagher, Senior Managing Director of the ISI Group. Tom, it is wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming on. Chuck Gabriel, Managing Director of Capital Alpha Partners. Ditto. Happy New Year. Jerry Bowyer, our stalwart Chief Economist at Benchmark Financial Network and columnist for National Review Online.
Hello.
And Dan Clifton, Director and Head of Policy Research at Strategic Research Partners. Tom Gallagher, I'm going to be mischievous, but I want to ask you an honest question. The day after the Iowa caucuses and their results, stocks fell 256 points on the Dow. The easy answer is it was all about jobs. Was it?
It was, because I'm sure you were looking at the stock market futures, and prior to 8:30, stocks were down some, but clearly you had the close to 200 points of it after it came all after the jobs report came out. So I wouldn't. But if I could tie it back to the markets for a second,
yeah.
To me, kind of the interesting thing, once you get beyond the horse race implications of the Iowa results, to me the interesting thing is that in each party, the party's base rejected the party's establishment.
Yes.
That the Democratic establishment was behind Clinton, the Republican establishment was opposed to Huckabee, yet the base, which is really kind of the bottom-up part of the party, rejected that. And so I think there's kind of an underlying message of change that comes out of that. It's not necessarily the hard-edge populism of John Edwards, but there is a change, I think, in what voters are saying they want out of the way Washington conducts its business.
Well, Jerry Bowyer, there's change and there's change. Now, John Edwards got knocked out yet last night. That's probably unfair, but some things in life are unfair. I think the guy's finished. I think it's a two-horse race on the Democratic side. But, Jerry Bowyer,
Yes.
Governor Huckabee is kind of like, as you have said, the William Jennings Bryan populist, anti-Wall Street, anti-business, anti-corporation, anti-investor thing. Now, is it possible that stocks were reacting to William Jennings Bryan, a.k.a. Governor Mike Huckabee? He is the big winner last night.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. Is it plausible? Yeah, it's plausible too. Last night the most viable anti-growth candidates won in Iowa. Yeah, and then this morning we also got bad news from the jobs market, which I think Brian Westbury's right. That'll be revised up.
Anti-growth candidates. Will you underscore that? Just give us another sentence before I get to our two others, and then I got John Zogby waiting in the wings. The two anti-growth guys won. You're saying Senator Obama?
Yes.
And Governor Huckabee, anti-growth.
Anti-growth. Obama upset Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is associated with the growth wing of the Democratic Party. Even if she isn't personally pro-growth, the sense was Robert Rubin will talk some sense to her or something. And so that's the most, I know, is she real pro-growth? No, but for the Democrats, she's the pro-growth. Obama isn't. And on the Republican side, you have several more pro-growth candidates than Huckabee. So the most prairie populist, William Jennings Bryan, anti-growth people won.
All right, gentlemen, let's get a quick whip around and respond to that. Chuck Gabriel, what do you make of what Mr. Bowyer just posited?
Well, I want to go back to what Tom mentioned and we discussed earlier, and that is, I think I'm not worried at all about whether, in fact, Wall Street was reacting to Huckabee today, because, in fact, driving this Republican bus really is sort of a three-dimensional challenge, and there are social conservatives, there are economic conservatives, and there are security hawks.
You don't think he can win? Is that your bottom line?
No, I think for him to win, he has to actually reach out and do much better than just, a fairly lame gesture with this national sales tax. It's kind of the least viable of the consumption taxes that would turn on people like you, Larry. And obviously he's got to really grow some gravitas. He has to come up with something beyond 2 words for Al-Qaeda, Chuck Norris. And he needs to get some people with some gravitas around him.
All right.
But he will move in your direction.
That's kind of close to my take, by the way. Oprah 10, Bill Clinton 0. Dan Clifton, on the way out, what do you make of the anti-growth scenario? And is Huckabee for this national sales tax, fair tax, is that basically a cover-up for his tax and spend policies down in Arkansas?
It's two things. Yes, it is a cover-up for his massive tax increasing record in Arkansas, but it also has a built-in constituency. He had no infrastructure in Iowa, and he needed their organization skills to win. It's a loser as the election heads forward, and we're waiting to see the non-evangelical candidates.
Stock market politics. Just give me a quickie on the way out. Quickie, you're all coming back. Tom Gallagher, buy or sell on last night's election?
Oh, I wouldn't pay attention to it, but at the margin, sell. Slight sell.
At the margin, sell. Jerry Bowyer, did you hear that? At the margin, sell.
Yes.
That's what Tom Gallagher said.
Yep, and I'd say buy because the Iowa results will be revised upward by New Hampshire.
Chuck Gabriel, buy or sell on the basis of last night?
Sell. I think it portends bigger Democratic wins in the Senate and you know, closer to a filibuster-proof majority.
Buy or sell on the basis of last night? Real quick.
Sell and wait for the winner to emerge, and buy because the market's going to take off in the second half of the year.
All right, good stuff. Better times are coming. You're all staying with us. We got John Zogby in the wings. It's only 4 days until New Hampshire. Question? McCain and Obama. Are they the new front runners? McCain and Obama. Acclaimed pollster John Zogby's got the latest numbers. And as always, we are firm believers in the optimistic Kudlow creed.
I believe free market capitalism is the best path
to prosperity.
You're watching Kudlow and Company on CNBC. First in business world.
My brother